Hi, I'm Brianna, homeschool mom to two, and my youngest is still a baby, so not quite there yet. In true fashion, I am all dolled up here, but I have my pajama shorts on, so no worries there. And I tried a new thing where I actually gelled all my baby hairs, my micro bangs. So tell me if it looks stupid. I feel like it makes my forehead look really big. I don't know. There's no winning there. But what do you do? So today I wanted to make a video on Toniebox versus the Yoto Player because we have been a long time Toniebox family and we have recently gotten the Yoto Player. So I wanted to do a little comparison because I was trying to look stuff up when deciding initially and my kids were really, really young. So I did decide on the Toniebox. But now my kids are 5 and 7 and the Yoto Player is super amazing. So I wanted to do a little comparison, pros and cons, prices, that kind of thing. I think I'll start with the Toniebox. So this is our little Toniebox here, and it's really soft and padded, and so you can kind of throw it around, and it's not going to hurt anybody if they hit their head on it. Online it says it's best for ages 2 to 4, and I'll kind of give you a little bit you push this ear to turn it up. Turning up. This one turns it down, this one turns it up. And we have, okay, don't judge me. It's been a couple years now, and so we have 200 Tonies in our collection, and our basket's well loved as well. It's drug around by all 3 kids, but we have all of our little Tonies in here, and I'll just play one so you can kind of see how it works.
Up, squirmy, wormy.
This is one of our favorites. So it's magnetic, so you just put it on there. If you put it on there, it'll continue where it's at. We really like these ones. The figurines are really fun. They're more for younger kids though. It's little, they're pretty heavy and durable. And I mean I wrote my notes down, don't worry. There are, let me see how many. The library is, last time I checked, I just checked, but last time it updated, there was 287 Tonies to choose from. And a lot of them are really geared towards younger kids. A lot of Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol, that kind of thing. But they do have creatives, which are my favorite thing to do. Usually what I do is I'll go on YouTube and I'll do a YouTube to MP3 converter. And it sounds tougher than it is. It's really, really easy. And you can put anything you want on these creatives. And so my kids have been really into Steve and Maggie or Halloween songs. So I've done that. I have taken a video of myself reading stories and then uploaded those. So they have a Tonie of, they call it Mom Stories. And so it's just me reading stories. And so we love doing that. It does have an app that's super easy to use, even for the creatives. You just take a video of yourself reading and then upload it. And then your Tonie's done. They can listen to it wherever they want. It doesn't need Wi-Fi. It needs Wi-Fi to download for the first. So when you get a new Tonie and you put it on, it needs to be on there for a minute or two, and then it'll download on the box, and then forever there afterwards, you can play this Tonie in the car or wherever we don't have Wi-Fi. And so that's super, super nice. I think the downside is that the creatives only hold up to 30 minutes, which, that's a long enough time, but when you're reading a book, it's not that many stories. Whereas the Yoto Player, their time, let me look. When you create your own, you can do 5+ hours for the Yoto. So there is a pretty big difference there. And with the actual average time of a Tonie versus a Yoto card, the Tonies, most of them are around 30 minutes, and most of the Yoto cards are 2 to 4 hours. And so I like the longer times for bedtime just because my kids are listening to it and they're falling asleep. And sometimes those 30 minutes aren't enough, and so they get up and they put another one on or something like that, you know, and that can like wake them up a little bit more. So that is kind of a downfall of the Toniebox. The Toniebox, like all the Tonies, are available on Amazon, Target, Walmart, and their own like Tonie website. And for the Yoto Player, you can buy it at Amazon, Target, or their Yoto Box website. Yeah, we really love our Toniebox still. I love how squishy it is right now. I'd say my 9-month-old is mainly the one that uses this just because it's like squishy enough. He can knock it over. It's not going to break. And what he loves to do, not really what it's meant for, is I'll put a Tonie on and he'll just kind of like grab it and knock it off. And then I'll put another Tonie on. He'll grab it and knock. And he likes to like play with all the Tonies and just kind of like touch them and feel them and chew on them and like put them on, take them off. But you know, he's not in the age range for it. 2 to 4, he's not quite there yet. But when my kids were in that range, I'd say more to like 2 to 5 or 2 to 6, really. And especially since they've come out with some of those, I know I'm going to say it wrong, don't make fun of me, the Roald Dahl ones. I always thought it was Ronald Dahl, but it's not. It's Roald Dahl. Like Matilda, James and the Giant Peach, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Witches. Like they came out with some of those longer ones that are like 2 hours long and like chapter book kind of. And so I really, really like those. But our Toniebox, I don't think we'll ever get rid of it. I love it. I have like a soft spot in my heart for it. We've had it for years and accumulated quite the collection for it. But my new love is the Yoto Player. And it has startup, and it has like a little nightlight on it. It has a little like time on it. And this one, you slide the cards into play, and it is for ages, like what it says is it's for ages 4 to 10. And I'd say you could even go longer than that because it is a lot of chapter books. So they have a lot for younger kids, a lot of songs and younger kids' stories, but they also have a lot of chapter books and chapter book series, which I really like. We're getting more into chapter books in our house, and so I really like that. They have like the Magic Tree House and Fantastic Beasts and the Boxcar Kids and a bunch of chapter books to choose from. So I really like that. The creative ones, I already touched on this a little bit, but that holds over 5 hours, and the average time for a Yoto card is about 2 to 4 hours. And so for the Tonies, it was 30 minutes, and for this one, it's 2 to 4 hours. And so there's quite a bit of difference there, which I like. It feels like more bang for your buck. And I don't think I talked about price points yet. The Toniebox is $99.99, and the Yoto Player is also $99.99. But if you get you can get the mini for like $70, but these are both the full-sized ones. And the prices for like the cards versus the little figurines. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I know it looks weird when I'm looking down. The Tonies, the little figurines for this, are $19.99, and the creatives are $10. And for this one, the cards are about $10 to $13 each, and the little cards that you make your own, like the creative cards, those are about $3 each. And so the same price point for the players, but for the figurines or the cards that you're playing, the Yoto Player is a lot cheaper, I think, for like a lot longer of stories. But this one has like those toddler stories. And so, you know, it really depends on the age, I think. And this one, there are on their website, it says there's over 850 cards to choose from, which I believe, because I was trying to look through it and scroll through it, and I couldn't get through it all. There was like 100 pages to go through. So the Toniebox, there was like 287, and this one, there's 850 plus. But a lot of them are for older kids. But here is my kind of like Yoto Player box or holder. And I kind of like this. I like the figurines because they're kind of fun to like play with, and they're easy for little hands and little kids. And the cards, it's kind of nice because it's a lot easier to store them. but also a lot easier to lose them if your kids are younger. But here's kind of like our library of cards. We don't have a ton yet just because we just got it, but it's super easy to hold our cards. And these are the creative ones that I made, and my kids are really into Goosebumps books, so I had to kind of Google like which Goosebumps books are kid friendly. And so like I just did the YouTube to MP3 converter. Super easy to do. Sounds hard. It's not. And I found somebody reading the Goosebumps books, Am I Afraid of Bees? And I downloaded it, and I just printed this off on Canva and just taped it on. And I don't know, I think it turned out super cute. So really easy to do. But that is kind of how we use our Yoto and Toniebox players. I think that it's really hard to choose. I really, really love them both. This one definitely for younger kids. This one definitely for older kids. I think that if you absolutely made me choose, like made me choose, I would lean towards the Yoto Player just because it has way more options in their library and the cards are cheaper and they still have that create your own. So if your kids are super into like Bluey, you can find a Bluey episode on YouTube and turn it into a card and just like tape a printed picture of Bluey on it or put a sticker on it of Bluey. So I think if you had to choose one, I would choose the Yoto Player. But again, I love them both. Happy I have them both. Hard to choose. But I think that Yoto wins by just like a tiny bit. But that is just my opinion. So I hope that helped. A little bit, maybe, maybe not.